People don't think in terms of information. They think in terms of narratives. Narratives are inherently more engrossing than basic facts. Stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if people get sucked in early, they'll stay for the conclusion. When you hear a good story, you hang on every word, don't you? And that's what we have to learn how to do. We have to go back to learning how to tell stories about the benefits of the products that we have. We need to quit focusing on the features of those products. And we need to start focusing on the benefits that people get from having those products. But people aren't interested in our products. They're not interested in us. They're not interested in the carrier. What are people interested in? People are interested in themselves. Seniors are interested. Medicare knows this. They know about telling stories. This is an email that seniors get from Medicare. I know because I'll be 66 in May, and I got this. And they tell the story of the virus and what I can do about it. And I guarantee you, almost every senior that got this opened it and looked at it because they want to know. Medicare did a great job of telling about the testing. You hear on the news all the time, nobody's going to pay for the testing, copays and deductibles are going to be waived. But how does that work? People are curious about how that works. They're confused about it. They have no idea how it works. If you go back into Google and you type in, or you go to CNN, MSNBC, Hot Air, Daily Caller, Town Hall, whatever you go to, you will see, just in the headlines, not the stories, but in the headlines, you'll see why there's so much confusion out there. Nobody knows what to believe. So they're looking for someone that can tell a story about how they benefit from a product. Then Medicare followed up with this. They're telling a story here. And in my mind, I can put myself, avoiding crowds. Okay, all right, yeah. This is what we need to be talking to our prospect about right now. This is the best time in the world to deliver an emotional driven message. Consumers tend to focus on how a situation makes them feel. If you want to up your game in prospecting, you couldn't get a better time to reach out for people, because their responses are based on their total life experiences. And what is their life experience right now? So listen to them. Listening means don't listen with the intent to respond. Listen to understand. And listen to understand not just what they say, but what they're saying. Learn to ask questions. I'm going to show you a lot of questions you can ask today. Some great questions. Learn to ask really good questions. But here's the thing about questions. When you ask a question, it implies that you're going to listen, right? So when you ask a question, shut up and listen. I know it's awkward sometimes. I know that we want to jump over it. Some of us are over talkers. Somebody gets, you know who that are. They get halfway through a sentence and the other person wants to jump in and finish what you're saying or tell a better story. We have to refrain from doing that. We have to learn to ask questions and then listen. Be honest and ethical. Listen, I know that you are. Everybody on the call, you wouldn't have your license if you weren't. But people prefer the truth even if the news is not good news. That's why we listen to the news. We don't listen to the news just for hope, although we should. We listen to the news because we want the truth. Tell a story about the use of the product. Don't just talk about the product. And I get it. I get it. We were trained on the product. We were trained on the product. And so we feel like we have to educate people on the product. But here's what I mean. Features. If you've been selling for a long time, you've heard about features and benefits, right? Features are what a product has or does. Benefits are why your prospects would want those features. In other words, Features are about the product. Benefits are about the user. Talk to them about what the product will do for them. For example, if you have something that is metal instead of plastic, metal might be the feature. But the benefit might be that it's more durable, longer lasting, and unbreakable. Features are the language of logic. People buy on emotion, but they're moved to action by logic. And I know some of you on the call today said, "No, Lloyd, I buy strictly on logic. I don't buy on emotion." All right, well, let's examine that, okay? Features are the language of logic. Even people who insist they buy logically or based on features do so because that's what makes them feel better. People buy on emotion or move to action by logic. Benefits are the language of emotion. That's what draws people into them. That's what draws people into you. People buy on emotion or move to action by logic. Focus on the emotion, not the intellect. Too many times salespeople are selling for the head, not the heart. Make sure that you use powerful, not passive language. If you want to be sure the prospect's engaged, you have to use language that takes charge of the meeting with the prospect. People don't want to take their valuable time to deal with uncertain salespeople. They want to be sold on what you're selling. And you should be selling the problem. You should be selling the problem people have. The language you use when working with prospect has to be powerful, not passive. And you know a passive salesperson, well, do you think about this? Do you want to think about this? Should I get back with you? What do you think? I mean, we know what a passive salesperson sounds like. So how do you do that? Well, you can talk about issues or you can talk about ideas. An issue reveals a problem, while an idea offers a solution. While an issue says, isn't this horrible? If you go to the emergency room, if you get hospitalized, you'll have medical bills, you won't be able to pay your medical bills. That's horrible. But an idea says, isn't this fascinating? That's what my 4 things script does. It says, isn't this fascinating? Issue-based presentations lead with morality, whereas ideal-based presentations lead with curiosity. So an issue-based presentation on life insurance is morality, trying to make them feel guilty for not leaving money to their family to pay the bills, right? Whereas an issue-based presentation would talk to them about helping the family avoid the burdens. Those are 2 completely different messages. But product-based presentations can be exhausting. They create compassion fatigue. And you have heard salespeople, you've sold with salespeople before, you've been on calls with salespeople who drill down in the product ad nauseum. And you see people's eyes glaze over. That's why we have to get away from product-based selling. QVC is a perfect example. I love using QVC as an example. Let's look at how they do this. I watched QVC just a week or so ago. They were selling shampoo and conditioners. And here's what I did. I wrote down what they said about the product. And I've highlighted the verbs and the adverbs that they used. They talk about reducing breakage, won't weigh your hair down, resurrect dry, damaged hair. Isn't that a great way to describe it? People can take those words and imagine them being weighed down with dirty hair. People take the word resurrect and they picture that model with that fluffy up hair there, and they picture themselves getting rid of damaged hair. Ingredients you can sleep with, inferring that people worry about what the ingredients are. Gives you volume, shine, beauty. Notice they use the 3 keys there, 3 words in a row. Volume, shine, beauty. Neutral products, quit torturing your hair. You're going to see some of this in what I show you today, in the words I show you today. Control that damage being done to your hair. Yeah, QVC bought HSN, Health Home Shopping Network, for $2 billion. So this philosophy, I mean, this way of messaging clearly works. True versatility. Power doesn't have to be pricey. Insurance doesn't have to be pricey. No bag, no battery, no extra cost. There's the three words again, 3 in a row. If you have a 2-level house, you owe it to yourself to get a lightweight vacuum cleaner. Don't you love that? People can just imagine carrying that vacuum cleaner up the stairs. Today, you have the opportunity to get more than you are paying for. Now, the words bolded are my words. I bolded those words because those are the words you should be emphasizing. You're getting wall mount. Say goodbye to being stuck with throwaway pads. What are you waiting for? The house to get more dusty, more dirtier? I love that. I laughed so hard when I saw that one. Other places don't have Elizabeth showing you how to use it. Just like other places, you won't go anywhere else that will have Lloyd Lofton training you. See how great that is? And by the way, that's true. The most powerful sales calls are 25% effective questioning and talking and 75% listening. So here's some questions for you. Ask the prospect, here's some ideas about questions. Ask the prospect questions that make them evaluate new information. Don't ask them their opinion about current information. Make them evaluate new information. I just got off a webinar with the call center this morning, and I went through a final expense script. And one of the agents said to me that when he starts the conversation and talks about giving people a quote, they always say, I already have it, or I don't need it. And they get off the phone. And here's why he got that. Because when you get a quote, like if you get in a car accident and you go get a quote to get your car fixed, do you usually get more than one quote? Most people do. And this is what I ask him. When you get that first quote, are you getting that quote for the purpose of making a buying decision, or are you getting that quote for the purpose of comparing to the next quote? And he said, well, comparing to the next quote. Well, that's what most people do. So just finish the sentence when you say, can I give you a quote? Can I give you a quote? Because let me give you a quote because I know you're not going to buy today. Ask the prospect questions that make them evaluate new information. Ask questions that qualify needs, not uncovers them. Ask questions that about improved access, control, savings. See how I use the threes there, the 3 threes? Ask questions about improved access, control, and savings. Ask questions about lifestyle issues or personal goals. Separate yourself from the competition. Don't compare yourself to them. Never, ever compare yourself to somebody else or something else. Contrast yourself with another competitor. Contrast your product. Contrast you. Ask questions that make the prospect think before a response. Ask power questions to create a buying atmosphere. A critical success strategy is to enhance your listening skills. After you ask the question, write down the answers. Because you can't feed people's answers back to them if you didn't write them down. Let me ask you this. What do you struggle with more? Words or phrases? Type in the chat box and let me know. What do you feel like you struggle with more? Words or phrases? I know that what I struggled with for years was phrases. I had trouble with putting the phrases together. In fact, I would take the words that people used, that people taught when I sat in the training, yeah, both words, phrases. Looks like 50-50 people, words and phrases. I could use the word, but here's the problem I had with using the word is I couldn't use it so that it got the same result that the person who told me about using that word said that they were getting. Or if I went out in the field with them, I couldn't get the same result that they were getting. Sometimes I would even struggle using the phrase because I couldn't figure out how to fit the phrase in so that I got the same result. But words and phrases matter. In fact, this is what we're going to talk about for the balance of the webinar. And I'm going to give you some very specific words and very specific phrases to use. Now, The context of these phrases and these words, you have to figure out. Now, if we end up working together at the end of this webinar, I'll help you figure it out. People email me their scripts all the time, and I help them fashion those things. But you have to do that. But I'm going to show you the exact word. You ready? Is everybody ready? Because we're going to run through them, and then I'm going to kind of visit with you about each one of them. So here we go. You ready? These are 6 words that change minds. The word because. Now let me tell you why the word because rings true and resonates with people. When I was a kid in Chattanooga, Tennessee, we lived in a 2-story house. And my job was to cut the yard. And my mom, my dad wasn't around, he left when I was a baby. My mom would yell upstairs for me to come cut the yard. And back then, we watched Zorro. I know some of you don't even know who Zorro is. Go to Google and type it in. We watched Zorro, and I had a whole Zorro outfit. And I wanted to finish playing. And I would yell down, Mom, let me finish playing this game. And she would say no. Mom, let me just finish playing this game. No. Why? Why can't I finish? And she would say, what'd she say? Because I said so. See, we were raised on the word because. And that word because is an integrated part of our personality now. It's ingrained in our subconscious. So when I say to someone, like if I'm recruiting, when I say at our retirement seminar in Ohio, we'll share with you what the hot tax savings are for the best rates, because it's important for you to see how you can gain more retirement income by concentrating your efforts where you get the best results. That's what our clients want. See how that word because works in there? Now, the other thing that makes it work is the voice inflection I'm doing, the pauses I'm doing. The words that I have bolded are the words that you need to emphasize. So you'll see here, the only word I have bolded is because. But listen to how I use the sentence. At our retirement seminar in Ohio, we'll share with you what the hot tax savings are for the best rates, because it's important for you to see how you can gain more retirement income by concentrating your efforts where you get the best results. That's what our clients want. You hear the voice inflection and the pausing I'm doing? That's what I mean when I say we need to quit selling the product and we need to start learning to sell the problems that people have. See, we grew up with our parents telling us this. Why do I have to eat my carrots? Because I told you to. Can you guess what the next word is? Now. Didn't your parents tell you that? Now let's look at how this will work for you. And that, when I do a training on closing, that's the transitional close phrase that I teach everybody. Now, John, let's look at how this will work for you. And again, we grew up with this. Get your room cleaned up. Can I just finish this game? No, get it done. When? Now. These are powerful words for us to use. They're simple words for us to use. And they're words that people relate with. Imagine, I started the webinar off by using the word imagine. Imagine you can mute your phone. Imagine going to any doctor, hospital, or clinic, anywhere in the country that you want to. Show your benefit card, receiving your medical care, leaving, and never see a bill. See how that word imagine, how does that make you feel? Just think about, close your eyes and think about how you emotionally feel. If we're in that situation, you're looking for health insurance or MedSup, MedVantage, just health insurance, whatever it is. And I said to you, Joseph, imagine going to any doctor, hospital, or clinic, anywhere in the country, showing your benefit card, receiving your medical care, leaving, and never see a bill. Do you get how that feels to people? And you can do that by slowing down. You can do that by paying more attention to how you use words and the words you use. And you can do that by being more conversational. You do that with your friends right now. If you're talking about the pandemic, if you're talking about a football game, if you're talking about a TV show, you get excited about some parts, you don't like other parts of it, you use all kind of voice inflection. When we talk to prospects, we're like robots. Please, I know everybody jabs me on the word please. And the reason why is because people think they use the word please, but they use it in the most obvious, corny ways. They don't use it as a tool to build a relationship. John, would you please share with me your zip code? By the way, that asking for the zip code is a low trust question. That's part of the writing close. If you want to start an application with somebody, have the application out. Like if you're selling face-to-face, if you're at a kitchen table or someone's office, put everything you're going to work with, including the application, on the table. And start the conversation off with, John, would you please share with me what your zip code is? If they answer you and you write the zip code on the application and they don't object to you writing the zip code on the application, guess what you're doing? You're starting to write business. But see how I'd use the word please? Now you can overuse it, but I pepper my conversation with the word please. Thank you is another one. When you ask your question, thank people. John, thanks for sharing with me how you expect your assets to be protected from market losses. Not everyone is as concerned about that as you are. See how that works? And when you do it, when you use the phrase, slow down. We are so quick to jump in there. That's one of the things that another salesperson said on the call I had this morning with the call center, is that people, he said he gets frustrated because what he doesn't handle well is he'll get somebody on the phone and they'll name 3 things they want. And so he oversells because he goes back and goes into details about those 3 things. And what he didn't get is that people already knew what they wanted. So instead of talking about those 3 things, he needed to talk about the benefit of that people would get from those 3 things. So sometimes we just have to slow down. Thank you for sharing with me how you expect your assets to be protected from market losses. Not everyone I talk to shows that concern. It's a really easy phrase to use. Use your name. People like their name. Now don't overuse it. I mean, you've worked with salespeople that like inundate you with that, right? They overuse and overuse and overuse all the time. But I like using their name. People like 2 things. They like to hear their name and they like to have their opinion asked. So you can use someone's name in the first 30 seconds of the phone call. Pretty easy to do it. So I might say, hi, is Mike in? This is Mike. Mike? Yes. Mike, this is Lloyd Lofton. Mike, I'm with American Eagle Consultants. And Mike, the reason I'm calling you, I've already used your name 4 times in the first 30 seconds. Now, I don't have to use it very much after that because I've already used your name. People like 2 things. They like to hear their name, like to have their opinion asked. Use people's name. When you answer people's question, you'll see how I use their name when I go through these questions. Don't overuse their name, but use it. So there's the 6 words that change minds, but I got a bonus for you. Use words that indicate they are in control, that the prospect is in control. John, on any new plan you design today, are you more concerned about managing the cost of doctors, hospitals, or prescriptions? You notice how I said that? John, on any new plan you design today, who's designing this plan? John is, right? Whose plan is it? It's John. Who's in control? It's John. John, on any new plan you design today, are you more concerned about managing the cost of doctors, hospitals, or prescriptions? Now, what word did I emphasize that I don't have bolded? The word more. John, on any new plan you design today, are you more concerned? The reason I stretch the word more out and emphasize it is it takes the gear shift of objections and parks it in neutral, and it makes them listen to the rest of the question. Are you more concerned about managing the cost of doctors, hospitals, or prescriptions? I love this one here. I'll do it for you. I would encourage you to start making this an integrated part of your sales personality. John, there's a registration form for the upcoming retirement seminar in Ohio. I'll do it for you. Let me ask you a couple of questions and you'll get it in an email today. What zip code are you in, please? See how what zip code you're in is a low trust question? But I'm telling them I'll do it for them. I take the risk out of it. I take the intimidation out of it. I take the obligation out of it. I'll do it for you. And if they tell me what zip code they're in, they're coming. And I love this one here. This is for the guy, this is for the know-it-all. You've had that before, right? You've had the prospect that's the know-it-all. They know all the answers. This one disarms them immediately. And I love using this one. You ready? John, you've been in retail sales for 35 years. With all the ups and downs, how did you succeed when so many other people have failed miserably? And then shut up and let them talk. In fact, when they answer that, you keep asking questions. Are you kidding me? Well, what year did you start in there? What product? How many employees did you have? Where'd you get the money to start? Well, what about during the Depression back in the 70s? How'd you met? Let them talk and talk and talk, baby. Rock and roll. That's a great phrase to use. This is another one of my favorites. I use this all the time, and I use it with sincerity because I mean it. Bob, you're smart to ask about the IRA transfer restrictions. Most people don't realize how this can affect their total earnings they can have. Let me give you an example. I always like to do that. I always like to let them know that their concern matters, that their idea matters, that their response matters. And a version of that is, you're right. So Bob, you're smart to ask about the IRA transfer restrictions. Most people don't realize this can affect the total earnings they can have. Let me give you an example. And let me give you an example is not only a tie down question, it's a trial close. Because if they don't stop me from giving me an example, guess what they're doing? They're in the buying mode. You're right. John, you're right. Many insurance programs don't operate as they're advertised. Let me tell you how our customer support works. So there's nothing wrong with agreeing with them. Listen, I'm not telling them that they're right. I'm saying that their belief is right, their idea is right, their opinion's right. I may disagree with them. I may think they're totally wrong. But you know, I get it. I get that's the way they look at it. You're right, John. A lot of insurance programs don't operate the way they're advertised. Let me tell you how our customer support works. So maybe that's a prospect that's not interested in insurance because they called in customer service, got screwed over, and the claim didn't get paid. Okay, I get that. They have a right to feel that way. No big deal. It's not personal. It's not about me. It's not an insult to me. You know, being insulted is a choice. We can choose not to be insulted. We can choose to instead of being insulted, instead of being offended, we can choose to be understanding. We could choose to be supportive. There's a lot of things we could choose to do. So use your right. It's a great phrase. I love this one. I love this one here, particularly with the hard sell. The guy that was really hard to work with, but he ended up buying from me. I've even used this on people that didn't end up buying from me. You're the best thing that happened to me today. And the reason that this is such a great phrase to use is because it protects my attitude, not theirs. Listen, with the combined insurance company, we field wrote the policies. So that means that when I wrote their name on the policy on my roll, and I tore the policy off and handed it to them, it was issued. That was the policy right there. So what I used to do with people who are really, really rude to me is I would tear the policy off below the policy number, which is at the top because I always got charged for the policies. I'd tear the policy off below that, and I'd hand it to him. And I said, John, I just want you to know this policy was written so even a sixth grader could understand it. I'm going to leave it with you and let you study it. I'll see you again in 6 months. And I turn around and walk away. Well, that was funny. It was a way for me to kind of dig people that were really nasty with me. But in looking back on that, it was really sophomore to do that. It would have been better for me to do this. Bob, you're so easy to work with. Thank you for the time you spent sharing with me. You're the best thing that happened to me today. So whether things went well and you got the sale or whether the guy was a complete jerk, I do this to protect my attitude, for me to get off the phone with a good frame of mind so I can make my next call with a good attitude. And you'd be surprised how many times that it ends the conversation with someone so that I can actually have a decent conversation with them the next time I call them. And here's another one. It's just a version of you're the best thing. And this one here I've used sincerely a lot of times. You ready? You have no idea how nice it is to work with someone who is realistic about what happens in the market, what people are looking for, and the most effective approach to protecting your assets. See how I broke that down? So I might say to someone, Robbie, you have no idea how nice it is to work with someone who is realistic about what happens in the market, what people are looking for, and the most effective approach to protecting your assets. See how I use the threes? I put the three ideas together, the three things together. But it also puts the person in a position, it's really hard for them to be nasty to me and not talk about more because I just complimented them, right? I just told them they were nice. Those are great phrases. So let's look at 7 phrases that inspires confidence. You deserve. When you're sitting with your tax advisor and have a question about your policy, you deserve an agent that will answer your call so you can ensure your financial plan is most effective. See how I use the word you deserve? You can use that you deserve in a ton of different ways. Let me ask you this. Do you ever run into buying resistance? Type in the chat box and let me know. Do you ever hit buying resistance? Is that something that you struggle with sometimes? People resist wanting to buy from you? Of course, yeah. Joseph said, of course. Gerald said, yes. Yeah, we all run into buying resistance all the time, yeah. All the time. Sometimes. Here's the thing about buying resistance. Now I'm going to give you a scenario. We're going to go a little bit over if that's okay. Is that okay with everybody if we go a little bit over? Type in the chat box and let me know that it's okay if we go a little bit over. Just want to make sure you're okay. Everybody's okay with that? All right. Not too long, but a little bit over. So I'm going to give you a scenario. We'll talk about buying resistance. And we'll see how normal or abnormal your prospects are that give you buying resistance. You're driving down the street. You've been thinking about getting a new car. You see a dealership. You pull in the dealership. You get out of your car. Car salesman comes up and is going to help you. And you say, I'm just looking, right? Did you lie to him? Yeah, of course you didn't lie to him. The truth is, you just don't want to be sold, right? See, that's buyer resistance, right? We're resisting buying something because we don't want to be sold. But there's ways that we can deal with buying resistance. Let me give you the second bonus. And that is to understand pattern resistance. And you can interrupt pattern resistance with, I don't know if. It's a great phrase. John, I don't know if you paid federal income taxes last year or could take advantage of the healthcare expense deduction. I'll help you get this information before you make a final decision. I love that phrase, before you make a final decision. So I don't know is a great way to frame the next thing you're going to bring up. And it puts people in a position of sitting back, of doing one or two things. They either sit back and didn't know that, or you get to compliment them because they did know that. So I don't know is a great way to interrupt of resistance. Imagine what would happen. Notice how the word imagine keeps coming back. Now you notice I've expanded it from imagine to imagine what would happen. Imagine what would happen if you were 78 years old and needed to pay for recovering at home after a procedure, and I answered my cell phone for you, and you found out you had a plan in place so you would not have to spend your savings. How would that work? How would that feel? You notice the difference there? Notice I didn't use voice inflection. I didn't put emotion into it. I didn't emphasize any words. I just said the script. Imagine what would happen is a great phrase. But what if I said it this way? What if I said, Carolyn, imagine what would happen if you were 78 years old and needed to pay for recovering at home after a procedure, and I answered my cell phone for you, and you found out you already had a plan in place so you wouldn't have to spend your savings. How would that feel? You see the difference in how I said that? That's what I mean about the conversation we need to start having with people. Imagine what would happen is flat if all we do is repeat the phrase. When we started off today, I said, none of this is going to work for you if you don't work it and make it fit your sales personality. You have to try this stuff. And you know what? Some of this stuff, it sounds really good, and you go and try and it doesn't fit your sales personality. And you need to adjust it, or you need to go back and get another one of these phrases that will work for you. You probably already know. Now this is a takeoff of the other one. Let's look at how this is used. So this one here might be, for example, Ron. I know it says John, but I'll say, Ron, you probably already know how durable medical equipment works with your medical care. Let me share with you how your plan with Mutual of Omaha will handle this for you. Now, here's what happens when you use that. People will actually, if you use it, particularly on the phone, if you're selling like we are, if you're selling in a webinar like we started off with, but particularly in person, if you lower the octave of your voice just a touch, when you say you probably already know, people will literally lean into you. So I might say, Ron, you probably already know. And pause right there. How durable medical equipment works with your medical care. Let me share with you how your plan with Mutual of Omaha, notice how I dropped off on the Omaha, with Mutual of Omaha will handle this. Because when I drop off with the Omaha, people literally lean in. They take ownership over this. The scales drop off their eyes. Here's another one. Would you be surprised? Bob, would you be surprised to know that my $100,000 a year client avoids paying taxes on up to 85% of their Social Security income? Now you notice which word, I had the word, would you be surprised, bolded, right? But look what happened when I used would you be surprised and emphasize certain words. Bob, would you be surprised to know that my $100,000 a year clients avoid paying taxes on up to 85% of their Social Security income? Notice how it changes the whole meaning. Now, if I'm with you in person, I make eye contact with you. If I'm on a webinar, I look straight into the camera. I look straight into the camera at you. If you could choose, which one would you choose? And I love this alternate choice one. This alternate choice is another way of getting them involved. So I might say, Joe, if you could choose a fixed premium each year and the ability to go to any doctor or save a little on your insurance premium while staying in a network for doctors, hospitals, or clinics, what would you choose? And this is a great question to ask to determine if we're going to be marketing a MedSup or a Med Advantage to them. I can take if you would choose with any product and frame a question so that I drop them in a funnel and have a better idea of what solution, not what product, what solution might meet their needs better. And then I like this one here, I wouldn't tell you this. And this is one where the person's engaged with me, but you can tell they're a little resistant and still just a little not sure. So for that person, I would say, John, I wouldn't tell you this if my $100,000 income clients were not keeping the majority of their Social Security income, if not all of it. So these phrases can help a prospect from throwing you off. And that's what everybody said. We've had this happen to us. That means my message to you today is you're normal. Each and every one of you are totally normal. So let's have a test. Get ready to type in the chat box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a sentence. And I want you to type in the chat box what you hear me say in this sentence. So I'm giving everybody just a second so you can get ready to type in the chat box. It takes about 6 seconds for your answer in the chat box to come through to me. So I'm just telling you that up front. So I'm going to say the sentence, and what I want you to do is I want you to type in the box what you heard me mean. Now think about what you heard, what you think, and what you heard me mean by the question. And then we'll look at the meaning after the test. Everybody ready? Here we go. I did not say she stole the money. So type in the chat box, what did I mean? I did not say she stole the money. What did you hear me mean? Okay, stole, you don't know if she's did or didn't. Okay. She stole the money. I'm not accusing. You didn't accuse her of anything. Well, it may not have stolen. Okay, good, great guys, great insight. Let's try it a different way. Everybody ready? I did not say she stole the money. So what did you hear me mean? Type in the chat box. I did not say she stole the money. I did not say she stole the money. I didn't say. Yeah, so you heard a difference, right? Hopefully you heard a difference. Let's try another one. I did not say she stole the money. So type in the box and tell me what you heard me mean there. I did not say she stole the money. What do you think I meant? Yeah, I had no knowledge. I did not. Okay, good. You guys are smart. You got some great insight there. Okay, ready? We're gonna do another one. I did not say she stole the money. I did not say she stole the money. What do you think I meant? What did you hear me mean? What did you hear me mean? She is innocent. I did say I am defensive. You didn't say, okay. Got a couple more to go. I did not say she stole the money. I did not say she stole the money. What did you hear me mean there? I inferred it. Yeah, absolutely. I inferred it. Yeah. Let's do another one. I did not say she stole the money. I did not say she stole the money. Yeah, absolutely. He might have. Absolutely. How about this one here? I did not say she stole the money. I did not say she stole the money. Yeah, Joyce said she may not have stole the money, but something's missing. Let's do two more. I did not say she stole the money. I did not say she stole the money. What did you hear me mean there? She stole something else. Yeah, absolutely. You guys are smart. And the last one, I did not say she stole the money. I did not say she stole the money. Here's the thank you for participating in that. You guys all did a great job on that. So yeah, I said a sentence, but did you really listen to what the sentence was? Did you think about what I meant by this statement? Did you think about what you heard? If you didn't hear a difference in each sentence based on the voice inflection I gave each word, that could be why you either are having trouble opening conversations, getting a full presentation, making a close, or getting referrals. Did my voice accentuate, emphasize, or pause? Did that affect your perception of what each sentence meant? Of course it did, right? Of course it did. What could you do to test your understanding of what message I meant to convey? You have to take it in the remote context and in the immediate context. But we'll talk about that. That's on another training. Now, what would happen if we pair the different ways that I said with body language? What happens if we compare those different ways with body language? How would my body language affect or alter your interpretation of the meaning of my message? So when we're selling in person, we have to pay attention to the voice inflection that we're using and we get from the prospect and body language. On here, I can still tell people's body language by the way they respond, by the way we respond in the text, by the way we respond when I have the audio on. Well, let me ask you this. Did you pick up a word or a phrase that you think could help you be more prepared or help you close your next prospect? Just type in the box, because I have a couple more things I'm going to show you. Type in the box, let me know yes or no. Yes, yes, now. Absolutely, great. Okay, great. At least I know we're on the right track. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for reinforcing it. Joyce, I appreciate that. Amanda, I really appreciate that. All right, here's my final thought. If you want to make a difference, you can't make a difference with your prospect unless you are the difference. You can't make a difference with your prospect unless you are the difference. If you use the same script, the same presentation, the same close as every other product hawking, price hawking salesperson, then that's who you are to the prospect. We covered today how messaging can affect the cravings that drive customers. I went through questions that others don't see to ask. We talked about eliminating the headache of a sales script everyone else is using. I went through 6 powerful words that help consumers tell you what they want to buy. And we looked at 7 dynamic phrases and statements to eliminate the most common objections people get. And I gave you 2 bonuses, the pattern resistance. So, do you have a better understanding, a better ability to have a clearer reading on what customers are concerned about before diving into your sales pitch? Do you think that you got that today? Just type in the box and let me know. Do you think that you can read buying behaviors a little bit better now? Do you think you'll be able to use a more personalized approach, a more powerful message, and handle objections with ease, a little bit more ease? I hope the biggest message you got out of today, David, thank you for your comment. I hope the biggest message you got out of today is you got to sell the problem that people have and generate powerful conversations. In a couple of minutes, you're going to get the free download, and that's the COVID-19 messaging. It's an ebook with everything you need to talk to your seniors about what's going on. So here's my question for you. If you actually got this out of this, if all this makes sense, I'd love to show you how we can continue working together. I just want to get your permission to show that to you. So just type in the box if you're okay with me showing you a way that we can continue working together. It'll only take a couple of minutes, but I'll show you some different ways we can work together. Yes, yes, thank you, yes, okay, great. I created a package in my virtual training platform called 7 Tips That Focus on Feelings. This is in my Power Behind the Sales virtual learning platform. In this training, in this program, you'll learn how to sell the problem and how to tell the solution to people. You'll get rid of being an unpaid consultant, because a lot of times that's what we are. You'll quit being a professional visitor. We're not there to make friends. We're there to write business, right? That doesn't mean that we're not friendly with our customers after they buy from us, but we're not there to be a visitor. You'll get rid of call reluctance. You'll eliminate or reduce the objections over price. You'll get clients who say they don't know anyone to refer you to. You'll get rid of that excuse. You won't have to struggle with the needs assessment anymore, or you'll reduce how much you struggle with it. You'll get rid of struggling with prospects to take action, if for no other reason that you'll learn what action you need to take. And you'll get rid of struggling with what to say to close business. Mike Zane is a financial planner. He's a client of mine. And when I worked with him, the thing he got the most out of us working together is about attracting a tribe. When you attract a tribe, you engage them and you keep them coming back for more. And Mike felt like he got that from working with me, and I still work with Mike. So in the 7 tips that focus on feelings package, you get the 7-step sales presentation. That contains 7 lessons. When you become a member, you'll get a link. You'll click and go to this landing page here. You'll click on sign in, and you'll be inside using your user ID and password. And then you'll start your courses. The 7-step sales presentation has the actual lessons in it. See, they're PDFs. You'll be able to click the PDF and download it and follow along in the video trainings. In fact, when you click the lesson and download it, you'll be able to use it on each of the lessons. Now, it looks like I need to change what I put in there. I said there's 7 lessons. There's actually 11 lessons in here. There's 11 lessons in here. And these lessons are videos. So not only do you download the PDF, you're able to follow along on the PDF. You'll be able to take notes. And if you don't have the PDF, you can actually use the notes section right over here that's in the virtual training platform. So you get the 7-step sales presentation. It says 7 lessons, but there's actually 11 lessons. I need to change that. You get the Scripts That Work course. And in that, there's 23 lessons. So there's 3 parts to it. The course introduction, the fundamentals, and the Scripts That Work bonus training. You click on those lessons. As I said, there's 23 of them. When you click on those lessons, you get the videos, and there's every kind of script in here you want. There's Medicare call script, direct mail script, elevate your telephone voice, top objections and sample closes, Medicare supplement scripts, Medicare supplement phone script, passive versus powerful words, life insurance power phrases, Mutual of Omaha script, setting appointments. I mean, it's all in basic phone setting. I even go outside the market and show you scripts that I help clients that sell credit card processing and do loans for small businesses, show you how I take the psychology of what we talked about in today and what we talk about in the scripts, and that will fit in any market, And I want you to, when you get in here as a member, I want you to pull up this merchant script, the merchant appointments, and I want you to put them next to the scripts for the Medicare and see how the psychology, the principles follow in any market. That's why I put it in there for you, so you can learn from it. One of the guys on here today said, it looks like I can see I need to learn more. This is how you learn more. I even put a bonus section in here to give you samples of how to handle objections. And I put some of the specific objections in here. So you're going to click on it. They're all videos. You've already downloaded the information, and you can put notes on here. Sorry, my voice is getting to me. So let's talk pricing. I do training for a lot of different organizations, a lot of different groups. I did a training for the Lead Generation Summit, and they sold my training. It's a 1-hour webinar, just like you're on today, 1-hour webinar. They sold it for $197. Now, if you got the whole package, it was $1,297. But if you just got my 1-hour training, you would have paid $197 for it. Glenn bought it. He said, thanks for the quick reply. Very impressed with your session in the Lead Summit. I just ordered your books, Lead to Results. I do a lot of training with Lorman Education Center. I did the 7 skills of a successful salesperson with them. So with Lorman, They are also a membership site. If you click on purchase options, then you're going to get this here. You can do the on-demand webinar, and they're going to charge you 99 bucks. So if I look at the pricing for this program for you, 197, 99 bucks. They're all 1-hour trainings. It's got the 7-step sales presentation, 7 lessons. Well, you see there's actually 11 in there. I cheated myself out of that, but it's worth $693. Scripts to work, there's 23 script lessons in there. So it'd be $2,277 if I just did each one of those as a training. That's a total of $2,970. And, you know, of course, nobody's going to pay $2,970 for that. We know that. Let me ask you this. If you could get this kind of training, if you could stabilize your business, build a reliable income, a sustainable income, a permanent income, and increase your sales consistently for the rest of your career, would that investment have been worth it to you? Just type in the chat box and let me know, yes or no. Just tell me if you think that would have been worth it to you. Yeah, of course it would have. Gene, I saw what you said there. I agree with you, buddy. I'm happy to talk to you about that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, everybody, it would be worth it. Of course it would be. But of course, nobody's going to pay that. Anybody to ask you to pay, that's an idiot. So of course you wouldn't do that. Joyce is another guy. He was with American Enterprise when I ran that career distribution. He came in as an agent, started off as a new sales manager. Took about a year to get him in as an agent, as a manager. He likes my direct approach to training. The sales training is excellent. So anyway, you can read that. That'd be worth it, your phrase, great phrase. All right, you guys are throwing me off here. So the 7 tips is focus on feelings package, includes the 7 lessons at $99 each. In other words, if I did each lesson and charged 99 bucks like I do with Lorman, it's 693 bucks. If I did the scripts and did each lesson as a 1-hour webinar, it'd be $2,277. But you're not gonna pay that. It'd be ridiculous to even think about paying that. I put the whole program together for $137. I wanna make sure everybody get it. At the beginning of this webinar, I said I wanna make sure that I can get this as many hands as possible. This is the opportunity for you to up your game. To heck with the pandemic. That doesn't stop you from getting business, keeping your income at least what it was last year, if not growing it more. You're locked down anyway. Now's the time to improve your skill sets. Now's the time to lean in to your business and own the growth that you can do. Now's the time to do it. It's just $137. $37 a month after that. And it's $37 a month after that because you'll be on each month I add new recordings in there. Each month I add new materials in there, new downloads for you. It's not a one-time thing where 3 months from now you go in and the same thing that was in there this month is in there 3 months from now. I'm constantly putting new stuff in there and you can cancel it at any time. It gets better though. I've got a special bonus if you jump in today. If you jump on this today, I'm going to give you the fast track coaching. Now this fast track coaching is just about the easiest thing in the world. Because what it is, it's more than 100 videos. And these are vignettes. These are 1 or 2 minute vignette videos. There's more than 100 of them in here. And you can download them and put them on your iPhone, your tablet, whatever you use. So you have this with you all the time. And there's all kind of topics in here. So if you click on any one of these, like if the standard rebuttals, if you click on that standard rebuttals, you can download it. You'll get a pop-up like this. You pick the folder you want it to go to, you click save, and you've got it for you. So there are 100 videos in there, 1 to 2 minute videos in there. I've got them on iTunes. You go to iTunes, you're gonna pay 10 bucks a piece for it. You're gonna pay $1,000 for them. You're gonna get all of them included in there. If I did all of that, just in my normal business, it'd be $3,970. Again, 137 bucks today, $37 a month after that. So just to be clear, you're going to pay $137 a month today. And then in the second month, it's going to be $37 each month. And remember, each month I put new material in there. You're not going to log in 6 months from now and see the same stuff you have in there today. And it's always going to be there for you. And it should be there for you. Nobody should get into this program and think that you're going to sit down in 1 weekend or 1 week and go through everything and turn everything around. You have to be like a cow and chew what's good and spit the rest out. You might try one skill set, become proficient in it, and realize as a result of being proficient in that you have a weakness in another area, and then you need to come back in and learn that area. That's why you need to have this. And each month, just like right now, the pandemic's going on, so I create material specific to that issue that's going on in the marketplace, and I put that up in there. That's why $37 a month, to keep you informed of everything going on, and you can cancel it at any time. Rachel worked in a call center. She likes the fresh ideas. She likes my perspective. She thinks it made sense to her. She thought the tips and techniques were easy to apply. They'll be easy for you to apply. I don't know that you will apply them. That'll be up to you. You have to decide if you apply them or not. But what do you have to lose? I mean, what do you have to lose? You spend more money on Starbucks coffee in a 3-month period of time than what I'm talking to you about investing to yourself. So I'm going to wind this down. Listen, you got 2 choices. The first option is do nothing. Don't take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. And then you'll just have the exact same income they had last year. Maybe the pandemic won't hurt your income. The second option is pony up this small amount now, invest in yourself now, and compared to all the value you get, and just give it a shot. I got another bonus for you. If everybody stayed on the call, I got another bonus for you. You get the exclusive members only webinars. So my virtual assistant sends this out every month and invites the members to the member only webinar. I would encourage you to come to it. A lot of people don't, but I encourage you to come to it, because I take live questions. I answer your questions live, just like we started off. My video would be, my face will be there, your face will be there. You'll unmute yourself and we'll communicate, and you'll get that live from me. And I upload those right into the platform, right into your platform. So those are the things that are in there. 7-step sales presentation, 7 lessons were $693. 23 script, well actually it's 11 lessons. I keep cheating myself, giving you more value there. What a great guy am I. 23 script lessons, 100 videos, all that's worth $3,970. And the exclusive webinars only. Said $137 today, $37 a month after that. Cancel anytime, but wait a minute, whoa. You should all be getting an email right now with the purchase link in it. You should all be getting that email right now with the purchase link in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that purchase link in the chat box. And right now it's in the chat box. So you can either copy that link and paste it in your browser, or you'll get an email that will have the link in it, and you can just click on the email and get on it. But there's one last surprise when you do. I'm going to give you a 30% discount. I want you to be able to take advantage of this, and I don't want any excuses because of the pandemic, and you're going to get it for 97 bucks. You see, I tested it on February 18th to make sure it worked for you. So you get that 30% discount, you get everything for 97 bucks. So you get the 7-step sales presentation course, 11 lessons. Keep cheating myself. 11 lessons for $693. You get the scripts at work course, 23 scripts. If I did each one of those as a 1-hour webinar, you pay $2,277 for that. You get the 100 1-minute, 2-minute videos. Download them, put them on your iPhone, have them with you all the time. And there's in all different markets. I've even got on how to upsell desserts. I'll show you the psychology of the principles that I'm giving you will work in any business, So if your spouse works in a different industry, you can share this with them and they can do more business and make more money doing that. So you can get all this today for 97 bucks and $37 a month. Skipper Pond said that I was instrumental in developing his business. He's got his own agency now. He started off as an agent and and I promoted him to an agency manager. He's down in South Carolina right now. He said that if you ever get a moment to share time with Lloyd, you'll come away with so many essential nuggets within the industry, and I really appreciate that. He's still a good friend of mine. And you get the download. So there's your purchase link right there for you. and you're going to get the free download. So that download's going to come in the email. In fact, I'll even put the link for the download in here, and you can click on that and get that right now if you want that. Let me put that in there for you. But don't worry, you're going to get an email, right? Should be already gotten it, but you'll get it any minute, and you can become a member right then, or you can download it, and then later on this afternoon, you'll get the replay. So let's talk about myths. When you were trained, when you first got in the business, or when you first went with the broker dealer you're with now, or the carrier you're with now, they trained you on what they tell you. They tell you if you just told the prospect what you can do for them, they'd buy from you, right? If you tell the prospect how to buy from you, that they'd buy from you. You were told that if you tell the prospect that they may have higher premium costs if they don't buy from you, that they'd buy from you, right? You were trained and you were told that if you tell the prospect how much you can save them, that they'll buy from you. And the truth is, none of that's happened, right? You see, we don't need more training. What we need is better training. You'll nail this. You'll build a consistent income that you and your family deserve. You'll find that you have a steady stream of work without overworking. You'll hit your goals every month. You'll have certainty of your workload. You'll receive the coaching that you need to get past the barriers that are holding you back. And you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. What do you have to lose, guys? Doesn't make any sense. You're not going to spend $3,970. You're going to spend more than this on Starbucks in a 3-month period of time. You can cancel it anytime. The link is in the chat box. But you'll get an email. I'm glad you all guys want to do this. You'll get an email any minute now. My virtual assistant's going to send that out. We need mentoring to change our dollar. Right on. So the $97, $37 a month. Now I'm going to take a few questions. My assistant put a few questions up here. Let me see. Go ahead, Julie. Put them up there. How do I turn suspects into prospects? That's a great question. The first thing you can do to turn suspects into prospects is start treating them. Now this is going to sound weird, but start treating them like inventory. You see, leads are inventory. Leads are inventory. Imagine you have a shoe store, and you only have a lady size 8 and a men's size 12. And you open your store for the weekend. How much business are you going to do? You're not going to do very much business, right? Because only those people can buy those shoes, right? That fit an 8 and a 12 shoe. If you want, and agents say this to me all the time, they say, I need more qualified prospects. And maybe, but I think what you need is more, instead of more qualified prospect, I think you need more prospects to qualify. So how you to turn a suspect into a prospect? Quit treating them like a prospect. Just treat them like a person. Start having a conversation with them. I don't know if that helps or not. Go ahead and throw the next one up there. How do I transition or best utilize a lead? Well, as I just told my friend there, a lead is nothing more than a name and a phone number and an address. It's nothing more. A lead is a reason for you to make a phone call. A lead is a reason for you to go out and see somebody. A lead is a next step in your sales process. A lead is nothing more than what you make it. So how do I transition or best utilize a lead? Well, I'll give you 3 tips, and then you can get more in my classes. The first thing is organize your lead by zip code and routing number. And if you don't know what the routing number is, email me and I'll tell you what that is. The next thing you do is work your routing numbers by days of the week. And the third thing you can do is never, ever, ever throw a lead away. Call everybody 3 times a week, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once in the evening. Do it during the week, middle of the week, and over the weekend. And the last thing you do, I think I already said this, is never throw a lead away. Okay, I'm being rushed here. Give me new ideas about contacting possible clients. That's like giving a haircut over the phone. You've got the hair, I've got the scissors. Sign up for my program and you'll get a lot of ideas in there. Are there more insights or types of buying motives, type of emotions people feels and how to read them? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them in there. This is just supposed to be a 1-hour webinar. We've gone well over that. So there has to be a lot of other, but yeah, there's a whole ton of stuff in there. I need you to learn all this because I'm new to the business. Hey, listen guys, I just got a message from my virtual assistant. She said she's sending the email out now. So you guys should be getting this email any second now. I need to learn all this because I'm new to the business. Let me tell you something. I really appreciate you sharing that. A lot of people wouldn't say that. Everybody needs to learn this. There are people that have been in the business for 30 years that constantly need to have updated training. So I just put the purchase link in the chat box again for everybody. So you're normal. That's what I want you to walk away from this knowing. You are absolutely normal. And the reason I say that you're absolutely normal is because we all need to improve. We all need to grow. This is nothing new for any of us. The thing that's important to understand is once you learn a skill, then that skill becomes like the picture in your house. You know, you've got that picture. You first got that picture, you hung it in your living room, family and friends came over, relatives came over, and they, hey, what a great picture, man. And you threw your chest out, you were all proud. You said, yeah, that's a great picture. Then 6 months later, somebody else comes over. And they say, that's a great picture. And you turn around and start looking around your house and you go, what picture? Because you got anesthetize to it. You're comfortable with it. You don't even notice it anymore. And that's what happens to our skills. We don't even notice it anymore. We don't notice we have those skills anymore. So I can't take any more questions. We're running out of time. You should have already gotten that email. If you're not, you're going to get it any minute. So jump in the program. You can always contact me. You can always, you got the email address. I'll always answer the email. So if you got a question or something I can help you with, if you'd like for me to visit with you, go to my website, go to lloydlofton.com. Just my name, lloydlofton.com, and click on schedule a 15-minute call. I'm happy to do that with anybody. I don't charge a dime for it. More than happy to do that. So anyway, I've gone on for almost an hour and a half now. 7 tips to focus on feelings package. $97 today, $37 a month after that. 30-day money back guarantee. Do yourself a favor and get on that. This is recorded. I didn't record the intro stuff of it because we don't need that, but it's recorded. Now I'm gonna jump off the call. So I'll take one last question. Does anybody have one last question? Type it in the chat box. I'll try and answer it and then we're gonna move on. One last question. Gene, I'll call you. I saw your name, wrote your number down. I'll give you a buzz, friend. Any other questions? All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna end it right now. Get your email, reply to that email. Make sure you jump on board, get the program now for $97, $37 a month after that. I look forward to working with you, and I'll see you on next month, members only webinar. Take care, guys.